taking strawberry salesmen off the street. You find a few people that deserve to be taken off the street, unquestionably. You highlight those, but there's hundreds that are collateral damage. Communities are torn asunder, creates anxiety and stress, and that manifests into expressions of free speech. And then you use those expressions and those images as the justification to send the guard and suppress free speech, suppress free expression. And you do that not only June, July, August, September, but you dial it up around election time. You dial it up around November, you do it a few weeks before, you dial it up in more and more cities, you suppress the vote, and you continue the path of rigging what we know is the intention of this administration, to rig next year's midterms and perhaps to wreck this country, as this president has tried to do on multiple occasions. And I don't need to give you any more evidence of that than what he tried to do on January 6th, where he tried to light a match to democracy. He tried to wreck this country, tried to dial in and find 11,000, 12,000 votes in Georgia. And, of course, what he's doing and just did in North Carolina, what he's trying to do in Indiana, what he did with 5 votes in Texas. It's code red for our democracy. And this is as predictable as daylight and darkness. But the darkness of this administration has no peers. And it is a disgrace, but it is hardly surprising. It cannot be allowed to be normalized, and we need to call it out for what it is.
Governor, you said this morning you're expecting to see troops and ICE at polling places. Do you have communications to indicate that will...
I have experience. We kicked off our Election Rigging Response Act at a sacred site, the site of the Japanese internment in Little Tokyo, where people were being bussed. As we're there at the Democracy Center kicking off our reaction and response to Donald Trump's efforts to rig the election before one vote, the midterm election, he sent out this Bovino character. He sent out the masked men to chill free expression, free speech, to scare people from participating in our event with 2 U.S. senators, a dozen members of Congress, hundreds of community leaders. I mentioned a strawberry salesman, literal example in that case of collateral damage. Wasn't on the most wanted list, but he was one of the people that Bovino arrested. That is a preview of things to come. I said it with clarity after the National Guard were federalized. There was a reason he extended the federalization through Election Day. I mean, you're hearing it from other governors now. Everyone's waking up to this. Why do you dial Greg Abbott to find 5 seats and say you're entitled to 5 seats unless you know you're going to lose the midterm? He said it yesterday at that sort of Venetian plaza that has substituted for the Rose Garden. It's a wrecking ball presidency.